For many years, ABM has been working with the Episcopal Church in the Philippines to bring safe drinking water to poor, rural communities. We asked Australian swimmer and Olympic gold medalist Giaan Rooney to visit the Philippines with us to take a look at this life-saving work. Giaan graciously volunteered her time to make the visit and discover for herself the reality of poverty in developing nations. The Philippines gets a lot of rain. How can water be a problem with so much rain? Well, if we in Australia could catch the rain that fell here, we'd have no water shortage. But even we don't have the necessary storage facilities. In the Philippines, the money needed for infrastructure to capture the water is well beyond the means of these poor communities. So, it wasn't a surprise that on the day we arrived in San Jose,
might not be able to see behind me, but there is actually what we would consider at home in Australia a huge storm coming in, although Alan, who's the head priest here of our little church, has said that this is just rain that happens every second day. We're in the monsoon season, and I think we're going to get fairly wet as we're about to take a trek up into the mountains to actually see where the water source is, where these villagers get their water from. Now, for most it's usually women and children that this task is assigned to, and as I said, it's an hour up and an hour back.
Ah, the glamorous life of a television presenter. Red carpet, champagne and mud.
I'm kind of enjoying myself. I think I'd be better if I was in bare feet.
The road Giaan is walking on is the main road to the banana groves where the community works each day.
Okay, shoes, socks used to be white, pants used to be black, singlet used to be one shade of blue, in feeling incredibly glamorous at this point in time, but we have just hiked up a mountain for an hour through a few shortcuts thanks to our guide, and we're here at the source of the spring that supplies the water for the village. Eventually these pipes will run all the way down to the first reservoir. From there's nothing much at the moment, but eventually the pipes will run to the next reservoir in the village, and then hopefully the villagers will have fresh spring clean water.
The projects are simple, using concrete tanks built by trained community members and tapping a natural spring water source that is fully tested for water purity. But getting to the water wasn't Giaan's only discovery in a village without plumbing, as she revealed over breakfast the following morning.
Sweet potato for breakfast. Coffee's really good. Really good. Although I had to go to the toilet before I went to bed last night and I didn't know what to do, so I just held on all night.
After breakfast, suitably relieved, Giaan was out and about inspecting the work being done to build the major reservoir tank in the village.
I'm standing in front of what is the community's first water reservoir, and what happens is the water that you saw yesterday from the spring will eventually come down through pipes and end up here, and will eventually be pumped straight into the community, allowing fresh, clean water for everyone involved. As you can see, there are a lot of workers behind us, and there are more arriving by the minute, because this is something that the community is very proud of and something that everyone wants to be involved in. And it's a good project because it means women and children don't have to walk every morning to go and get their water.
To help Giaan understand what fetching water was like, the local women encouraged her to visit the well and take part in the daily ritual.
Okay, we're here at another well in the village. This one's got a bit more water in it than the other one, but it's up to the women and children to draw this water, and we're going to show you how we get it back up the hill, and hopefully I can make it. Okay, let's go.
Bear in mind that Giaan was hot, tired, and there was no pool in sight.
Okay, the hill isn't fun, and the bucket's very heavy.
Very heavy.
Yes, but I have one, and she has two.
She has two.
Okay, doing this 5 times a day. Villagers tough, swimmers soft. Okay, we've just trudged up the hill. It's a lot of hard work and it's very hot. And now we put water in.
What's that?
The fruits of our labour.
Of course, there's more than one way to carry water, and since Giaan was interested, it seemed only fair that she have a go at everything.
Ah, iba tawa na.
How do you walk? How do I walk with the other head? Like this?
Ah, lay pagpag na
At least, for a short while.
Okay, I want it down now.
From San Jose, we travelled on to Tokukan, a mountain community that had a water system established in 2002. These communities are very remote, and we had quite a journey by truck and by foot, but it was important to see what difference easily accessible water makes to a community, and the contrast was obvious. Here, the community had put water to work, and nearly every family was raising pigs for market and had a vegetable garden. And of course there was water for personal hygiene and toilets. For big change, it's the little things that matter.
Well, this is what it all comes down to, as simple as a running tap. This is the difference between the villages that do have a water system and the villages you saw before that don't. It means hygiene, it means water for cooking, it means water for resources. And at the end of the day, it's as simple as this. Like gold.
As people struggle to better their lives, ABM walks with them.
It's something I've never had to do before. I've never had to go without water before. And it was such a shock to have to actually think about it, to actually say, you know, where do I wash my hands? How do I have a shower? How do I be clean? And definitely, how do I go to the toilet? But it was a shock because you don't, Australians very much so take water for granted, and you take it that you're going to go and you're going to turn the tap on, it's going to be no dramas and it's always going to work. So I guess it's hard to say that I could ever go and live there, but hopefully by showing me exactly what it is like to experience life without water, hopefully we can make a difference and change that for a lot of people. If I can go back to Australia and spread my story and our story and open up the eyes of other people, then that's not only going to help these people, but that's going to help hopefully poverty as a whole. So if we can change one community's life, then it's been completely worth it. I loved the tie-in between water, the fact that I take water so for granted when I've spent so much time in it, and I loved the fact that it is possible to change these people's lives. We're not just highlighting a problem and saying, well, what do we do about it? There is an actual fix for it, and all we unfortunately need is a bit of money. So hopefully we can go back and raise it and change some people's lives.